Guys, coming with another movie for guys, and this movie we're reviewing, I have heard really incredible things about this movie. I mean, watching this movie, I was really looking forward to it, mainly because it looked like a fun movie, it really did, but then I started to hear these rave reviews, and I'm like, wow, this seems to be coming out of nowhere, and that movie I will be reviewing is Zootopia. I have finally seen Zootopia. I'm very happy I've seen it. I've heard, like I said, amazing things about it. And going into it, I didn't really know what to expect till I started hearing more reviews and hearing what the movie was really about. And I gotta say, not only is Zootopia a great movie, but it's one of the most impressive anime movies I've seen in a very long time. I mean, I really haven't seen a lot of anime movies done quite like this movie, and I really love the way that this movie was done. And I'm talking like kids' movies. Like, of course, Anomalisa is like one of the deepest things I've seen in a very long time, but this movie is, a Disney movie. It's supposed to be for kids, and a lot of this movie, I don't think kids are necessarily going to understand. Now, do I recommend that you take kids to see this movie? Oh, yeah, definitely take kids to see this movie. They'll definitely really enjoy it, but there are a lot of things they don't understand. But let's get to the overall plot of Zootopia, because the plot of this movie right away should tell you, like, what you're seeing, which is very interesting. Basically, we focus on our main character, Judy Hobbs, who is this rabbit from Bunnyborough, and she has this dream of joining the Zootopia Police Department, and if she does that, she would be the first rabbit officer because bunnies aren't typically, police officer. It's just not something that they usually are. That's just how the way things are. And when she gets there, right away she's in for a rude awakening when she's regularly assigned parking duty by the chief on the chief on the force basically. And she really does want to prove her worth. And one day that she decides to do that when there is this woman, Mrs. Otterton, who basically arrives on pleading to help her locate her missing husband. And basically Judy Hobbs wants to do that along with her partner Nick Wilde, who was basically a witness in the case, and basically she wants to prove her worth to the chief, and that's basically a plot of Zootopia. So you can tell this is really not of the plot of a kids movie, which is really well done. It really is, I think, a crime, not kind of like a crime dramedy in disguise, which I definitely really did appreciate. And one of the things that definitely works very well in this movie is the cast. Like I said, the movie does not feel like a kids movie, and the cast definitely does not feel like something from a kids movie. Every single actor in this movie is taking this seriously, and I really like that. And yes, there are fun moments in this movie, but they're taking the story seriously. They did a very good job of that, especially Ginnifer Goodwin as Judy Hobbs. She really portrayed this character to perfection, I think. I mean, this is a character that just has this one dream. She wants to be on this police department, and, Zootopia is not exactly what she wants it to be. She says that completely throughout the movie, and it's kind of this segregated place, and it's really interesting. The movie really gets into this idea of racism. It's actually really interesting the way the movie did that, especially for a kids movie. It's really cool the way that that was done. She was very funny, but her character as well was just really great, and you really can understand her character. And there are probably a lot of situations that are like what Judy Hobbs is going through, and it's probably the perfect time for a movie like this to come out. I mean, especially in the world we live in, it would definitely make sense for this movie to come out when it is, and I really like the way the kind of like rude awakening her character was in for. I mean, she has all these dreams, and unfortunately, they just can't really, they're not really realistic, unfortunately, and they're really sad to see. But I do like that she doesn't give up, and the movie does a very good job of that. But the movie's main message is not about giving up, but I really think Ginnifer Goodwin did a great job. She really was great in this movie, and I thought that she was just a really great, really compelling, different main character that I definitely really like seeing, and honestly would like to see more of. I'd like to see more characters portrayed like Judy Hobbs, because aside from the fact that she's a rabbit, she really was portrayed like a typical main character in any crime drama, which, well, not any crime drama, but she really was portrayed as a regular character, and I really think they did that very well. Same with Nick Wilde. I really love the character Nick Wilde, played by Jason Bateman. He really did a great job as this Fox. What I love about his character is that he really is the comedic part of the movie, and you see right away that he doesn't really think that Judy's thinking seriously, and he doesn't really take her seriously. He even calls her Carrots. That's like her nickname for her in the movie. But he also is a fox, and of course foxes are sly, and you can't really trust them, and they did a very good job with him. And these two work really well together, but they also made his character really compelling in this one scene where he actually confesses something to Judy, which was really well done, and I really think they did a good job with the way that this was handled. Like I said, they really worked very well together, and one of the best things about the movie definitely are these two. They work really well, and they definitely pick the, right two people for this movie. Definitely, they were great here. Idris Elba as well. I really thought also did a really good job as the chief. I mean, you can tell that this is a chief that is just kind of following the rules. I mean, these are the way of the town, and things kind of go under his rules, and you can understand why things are the way they are. But I like that he did try to, he didn't really want Judy to be involved. This was interesting to see his character. He did a very good job, and I really like the way his character was handled, and especially if you see him in, movies before, Idris Elba was very well cast here. He definitely did a very good job, and I really think he was very good. J.K. Simmons as well. J.K. Simmons was, of course, awesome in this movie as the mayor. He did a very good job here. I really liked his character. There's a really interesting thing that happens with his character that I also really like. Tommy Chong was good here. Octavia Spencer was really good as basically the one that gets Judy into all this, which I really thought she did a very good job as well. Jenny Slate was also very good. They had a very good twist with their character, which I really enjoyed. And there are also just some really fun spins here. Like Nate Torrence, for example. I really loved his character. He's this cheetah that's kind of overweight, and I thought that he had some of the funniest lines in the movie, definitely. Alan Tudyk, who plays the Duke Weaselton, kind of like a spin on the Duke of Weaselton from Frozen, because he also played that character. I didn't notice that, but it says that, and I think that's very interesting the way they did that. I thought that was really cool, and I definitely really enjoyed that. Overall, everyone in the cast, I think, did a really great job, and they definitely handled this movie really, really well, I have to say. And the directing here, I was also very impressed by, because the tone of this movie is not a kid's movie. It's really not. It's the tone of a drama, and I think they really did it well, because like I said, there are some very fun moments in this movie, and the movie definitely is a lot of fun. There's no denying that. But they do take this material seriously, and they really did get into the issues that the movie was trying to address, and I was very happy about that. And that really is because of, like I said, the directing. They knew when to be funny, they knew when to be serious, and it never feels too over the top, which I really liked, and especially with the screenplay. This is a screenplay that I think could have failed. It really could have. It could have come across as very heavy-handed or very in your face, but it never does. It really seems like this is a story of them talking about how the world is just with zoo animals, and I think that really is a fun spin on it. I really like the way this was done. I mean, we're talking about a town here where things are very segregated. All the animals are kind of in their own little factions, and that's kind of where they are because that's the way the town is, and it's very interesting to see. The movie really does get deep into these issues of racism and social classes and even drugs at one point. I mean, it really gets deep into it. And I'm not saying the kids won't enjoy this movie. They definitely will. Like I said, it's a very entertaining movie. I was laughing very hard a lot of times throughout this movie. I definitely thought it was very fun, but I really loved the source material of this movie as well. I think they did a very good job with that. And when I say source material, I mean the message that the movie really is trying to show what the movie's really trying to show, and they really did take this story seriously, and they really focused on the story. They didn't focus on the humor. There's no random scenes in this movie. Everything really feels cohesive, and I definitely really like that. The case as well, I thought was actually really interesting, and kind of like a case in any crime drama. I thought they did a very good job with that, and I also really like that. The movie even has some throwbacks to some neo-noir movies, which I thought was very well done. There were times where I kind of thought the movie was paying homage to things like Chinatown, and that's always welcome in my book. That was very cool the way they did that, and I definitely really did enjoy that. And they also had some really compelling characters. Again, aside from the fact that they're animals, they still are very compelling, and I really like that. I've heard people compare this movie to Saw in the South, and I would kind of see that comparison. I mean, if you look back at like the 1940, the movie Saw in the South, that is a movie that a lot of people say is racist and is very dated. And what I like this movie's trying to say is that, yeah, that movie is kind of racist. And I don't think they were trying to necessarily, try to say, oh, we're better than Saw in the South. What I think this is an updated version of that movie. Like, kind of the issues that that movie was trying to show, this movie's showing just in a better way. And I really think they did a very good job with that. I really did enjoy everything they did. The animation here just looks incredible. The animation is great. They really, I think, fleshed out the animation really well in the town and everything. It looked really realistic, and that's something I was very impressed by. This is a very realistic movie. I mean, there's a line in this movie where Idris Elba tells, Judy that not everything is solved within a song and a dance. And especially because this is a Disney movie, you have to remember that. This is a Disney movie that's supposed to be made for kids, and it's one of the deepest things I've seen in a very long time. I think they did a very good job with that, and I really did enjoy that. And the message of the movie as well, the movie's not about not giving up. There's been many Disney movies that are about not giving up. What the movie's really about is fight the system. Don't let them tell you how things are. Try to change things around. Try to prove your worth, things like that. If you're segregated, try to prove who you are. That's really what it's about. And I love the way the movie was done. And there's some really dramatic moments in the movie that were very well handled and I really did enjoy. And really, I thought was as great as a Pixar movie, because this is not a Pixar movie, but it really feels like a Pixar movie in the tone and how deep it gets. Now, is the movie as deep as Inside Out? I mean, no, the movie's definitely not Inside Out, but it's, I think, right up there with how great Inside Out really was, and I definitely really did appreciate that. But like I said, the animation here just looks amazing, and the way that they picked every single animal, I mean, there's some really fun play on words in this movie. I think they did that really well. One of the funniest scenes, I mean, you guys probably seen the trailer, are the sloths. The sloths, by far, one of the funniest things about this movie. One of the things that constantly had me laughing, and I love the way that was done. The sloths really did look great. The score of Michael Giacchino, I mean, is amazing, but that shouldn't surprise you. He does great scores, and he really did a great job with this score. I definitely really loved his score to this movie. I think the score here was just fantastic, and especially in one particular scene toward the end, I'm like, wow, this is a really good score. I really think he did a great job. And the editing as well. I mean, this movie is very quickly edited. It goes by very fast, and that's something else I really appreciate. It wasn't a movie that dragged on. It could have been a movie that dragged on, but it was very quick, and but the thing about the movie is, while it's quick, it does get the point across, and every scene really is getting us somewhere, and I really did enjoy that. Like I said, it's a movie that's very focused on the story, and I like that. And it's fast-paced, but it's not, too fast-paced to the point where it just, goes, flies by over really what it's trying to say. It's a movie that really does have very deep subtext, and I really did enjoy that. And honestly, I think it's a movie that I might want to go back and maybe watch a little bit more, watch again to get some more of the references of what the movie's really talking about. And I definitely really did appreciate that. So overall, guys, I really am surprised by how great Zootopia really is. I mean, this is a movie that I thought was just going to be a fun little animated movie. That's really what I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be as deep as it was. I didn't think it was going to be have as great as a story as it did. To me, this just seemed like it was going to be a fun movie about animals. And while it is that, I think kids will get that from it. A lot of it is really telling this very deep story that's very compelling and is honestly very relevant. I was very happy about it done. So because that, I definitely made Zootopia a 4.5 out of 5 or an A. I absolutely love this movie. I encourage all of you to see it. This is a movie where parents can take their kids to and actually be think about and actually, not want to kill themselves during it, and actually think about what they're paying attention to, be like, you know what, this is actually really interesting. Kids will enjoy, of course, the animation and the laughs, while parents will really, I think, get wrapped up in the story. And I really think it's a movie that everyone should see. I really think they should. It's a very important movie for today. It's telling a very deep story, and I highly recommend it. It really is a great movie. But overall, guys, I know what you guys saw is Zootopia. I absolutely love this movie. I can't wait to watch again. Also, Shakira's song Try Everything. While it may be a song that we've heard in Disney before, it really does work very well in this movie. I really think they utilize that very well as well. But overall, guys, I know you guys saw Zootopia. If you have seen it, I absolutely love this movie. Definitely check it out. And we'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for tonight's episode of The Walking Dead. And I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.